There is no question that threes have been flying in this series for both these teams.
And off we go here in game number 5. Nikola Jokic going to need a huge game from him tonight. There's Murray on a 3, no good. Murray playing just out of his mind the other night. 50 points, trying to single-handedly get them back in the win column. Straight start. Has become a big piece for Denver off the turnover. Here comes Royce O'Neal gliding to the cup. Coach stand around the league for what he has built. Up and down season with all the injuries, new faces that they had after they retooled last summer. And they are 1 win away from the semifinals.
I mean, it's amazing with Bogdanovich, their second leading scorer, 20-point a game night, and their best three-point shooter out, what they've been able to do here.
That turnaround jumper is a thing of beauty. Not sure Jokic can do any more than he's already done. 29 points in game 4. Just an offensive marvel. Drive and kick. Ingles into the corner. This is Mitchell. That's a 3. 5th year in Denver. Hired in 2015. A steady progression to get them to this point. But, certainly didn't anticipate a potential first-round exit. Since Conley has come back, he just hasn't seemed to be into the offense. Has kind of lost his rhythm offensively. Mitchell steps into a deep 3 and buries it.
Point to us today that by their numbers, the Jazz had shot 34% on pull-up threes on the season, and they're shooting well over 50% in this series.
Boy, how about this?
Into this game is that they have to be more physical. They have to come out and deliver that first punch. But guys, we haven't seen it yet. Talking to Michael Malone, he believes that one of the guys who will help set that tone, Monte Morris. Now remember when Malone
just mentioned that knee. Talking about 2 starters, key pieces for this team. And especially at the defensive end, a guy like Harris, their best perimeter defender, a guy they could have really used in this series against Mitchell. Shot clock down to 5. Jokic steps into an open 3 and buries it. But officials all over it, led by our crew chief, Scott Foster. Here comes Murray weaving through the defense. Outside to Jokic as we cross the 7-minute mark in this opening quarter, game 5. And a do-or-die night for Denver. Jokic just masterful. Teams involved in the restart.
Yeah, and it's so hard to say because, like in this series, Utah's just shot the ball so well.
O'Neal, the fake. Wide open splash. That's his first from distance. He's got 8, making his second 3.
But that's what I'm talking about, is that bad defense. Royce O'Neal, an escape mid-range pull-up. Now these guys all have that sidestep, and they still shoot the 3.
O'Neal undrafted, 3rd year in the league out of Baylor. There's Jokic. That's a long 3 over Gobert, and he hits again. Mike Conley sit down early a couple of minutes ago for Utah. Picked up his second personal early in this game. Here comes Ingles, reeling around a screen, extends to the top, and he puts it down. A rugged defender for Denver. And Grant turns it over at the other end. Ingles, transition 3, sticks it. In the postseason behind Lou Williams. Here's Mitchell, little leaner. So Mitchell hit his first 2 threes, has cooled off a little bit since. George Niang and Juwan Morgan have checked in for Utah. There's an open corner. Official automotive partner of the NBA. So great to have you with us from Orlando. Spiro Ditas, Stan Van Gundy, Rebecca Harlow, our producer Jeff Randolph, and our director Matt Lipp. Rest of our terrific TNT crew. Game 5, Denver trying to keep their season alive in a 3-1 series hold to Utah. 7 to shoot. Murray gets the 3.
Move the ball, but down the stretch, they go almost exclusively to pick and rolls with Murray and Jokic.
So here's Conley checking back into the game with those 2 personals. About a 5-second difference. Shot to game clock. 5 to shoot. Conley to Clarkson. Puts it on the deck. Pull up 3 from the corner as Conley Bell. Final seconds. Here comes Jokic. Fires at the horn and he buries it. The game this season, his previous high 18. That came in early January against Atlanta.
But Quinn Snyder makes a great point. Look, you can't take everything away. They are up 3-1 in this series, largely because they've taken Denver, who was 5th in the league in points in the paint, and held them 13 below their average. But
these officials have been around the block a few times as well. What a crazy series this has been. Overtime win for Denver in the opener. Since then, 3 straight victories for Utah. As Michael earlier today, we asked him about what that conversation was like, and he said, look, he didn't take it very well, like you'd expect from any player, let alone a kid who's as young as he is and was on the shelf for really basically those 2 years with the back injury. They need more from him defensively. As Conley taking on contact, soft touch. Jamal Murray takes a seat. Can't imagine for very long for Denver. Quiet scoring start for him, just 3 points. Here's Niang. And some pretty good looks.
Niang's been good in this series. He's given him a good lift. A guy who really knows how to play, has developed his body and gotten in better shape. Tough guy, good competitor.
Here's Plumlee. Beautiful pass, dropping a dynamite. As P.J. Dozier did not play in Game 4. Coach's decision by Michael Malone. And a big bucket here off a terrific feed. Clarkson to the rack. For Coach, knowing that this was going to be something completely unprecedented. It's going to be a whole chapter in that journal today about Nikola Jokic. Clarkson.
Systemic, and the system needs to change. If we keep treating these as isolated incidents, nothing is going to change.
So we hit the 6-minute mark. Here is Jeremy Grant stepping middle, elevates and puts it down. Jeremy Grant, 19 points in Game 1, just 26 combined for Grant over the last 3.
Well, Denver is so big. We're so used to teams playing.
Morris, the bounce inside, gets it to Millsap on the box. And the rebound taken by Clarkson. So Nikola Jokic back onto the floor for Denver. 21 in the first quarter. Mitchell the drive and kick to Clarkson. Gets it.
Progressively gotten better, shooting more and more threes.
Think of all the offense that they lost when Bojan Bogdanovic went down with that wrist injury. Eventually had to have surgery, ending his season. Hurt initially in January.
He can screen assists, always trying to set solid picks. But on that one, he just didn't have time to get there and ends up with an illegal screen.
This is Michael Porter Jr., corner 3, got it.
Particularly at his size, if he can just get to being a little better defensively, this guy's got a tremendous future.
Mitchell around a screen, hounded by Murray, takes some contact, and he's headed to the... Denver trying to get their offense back in gear. Jokic on a 3, too much. Porter had a hand on it, then Millsap saves. Nicely done. Here comes Murray, slicing his way through the defense.
Murray, and that puts the guards, Conley and Mitchell, on essentially power forwards, Michael Porter Jr. and Jeremy Grant, giving away a lot of size.
Ingles on a 3. Morris distributes. Here is Jokic. Back of the rim, no. Loose ball, Morris, right in his breadbasket.
They've just got to hang in. They've got to get their defense going and get some stops.
There's a 3 for Conley, splash.
On this pick and roll here the rest of the way.
And if they can't figure that out, and their defense in general, their season may in fact be coming to an end here tonight in Game 5. Jokic, can he put this team on his back? Shot clock down to 2. That's an open 3. Got it. Hughes. Denver shooting 43% if you've just joined us. Millsap puts it down. And he's going to try to walk it off. First field goal for Millsap. Mitchell got it. Stand with very, very high expectations. Obviously, injuries have played a factor for both of these teams. Murray, gorgeous.
You're going to take away.
Gobert. End of the cup, couldn't put it down. Grant, and he can at the other end. 6 left in the quarter.
Well, Denver's going to trap Mitchell's pick and rolls with Jokic, which will leave Gobert open on the roll, but then Gobert is going to have to make the plays.
Mitchell setting the table, dropping a dime to Clark.
Mitchell split Michael Porter Jr. on the pick and roll 2 times in that same possession and got into the paint. This is the dilemma with Michael Porter Jr. You want his offense on the floor, but he's not giving you anything.
23 bench points have come from Clarkson tonight. He has been magnificent. Murray taking flight, puts it down. Boy, challenges go.
You cannot get split in pick and roll defense.
Gobert pretty with his feet. Neal. And Utah's lead back to a dozen. Porter outside Murray. Deep three. Got it. At 18 points and 9 since halftime.
They're right there. They're still in shouting distance.
In fact, he scored 9 of their last 11. Niang off the bench in here in Game 5.
But Donovan Mitchell just setting people up right now. That's the second three in the last couple of minutes that have come off of his penetration on pick and roll and finding open people.
That was his 4th assist of the night. Little give and go action. Jokic back to Murray. And that was the mix here, coach. He didn't play in Game 4. Michael Malone obviously desperate to keep his season alive, looking for some kind of a spark. Murray with a tough leaner, and he just keeps on coming.
Conley on the pick and roll. They're going to make other guys try to make a play. I think that's great.
Jamal Murray, 13 of Denver's last 15 points, and he's got some help here. 44 mark of the second quarter.
But look where Jokic is right now. He's not back in that lane.
Mitchell, and he answers for one last year, ending at the hands of Portland in the second round. Here's Murray off the inbounds. Splash! Brand, Jared Greenberg will have the call coming up next right here on TN.
Knows what they're doing, that Jokic is going to be up again. He drives away from the pick and gets to the basket. You've got to get him into the pick and into the help of your big guy.
Murray, and once again, those two.
Brendan Malone, the first head coach of the Toronto Raptors.
There's a steal. Porter ahead of the field to Murray. Runs out of real estate, but gets it to Porter. Largest lead for the Nuggets.
But Spiro, it's all coming from a much more aggressive Denver Nuggets defense.
How does Utah answer now as we cross the 8-minute mark? Mitchell to the rack, and he goes glass.
But here's the difference. Jamal Murray is going to have to handle the ball on every pick and roll, on every possession for Denver, where Utah has multiple ball handlers. They used Conley the last time. This is all going to be on Murray's shoulder.
What defense by Mitchell. Shot clock at 1. Jokic has to hurry, and he hits. Now with 26 points. Make it 28 after that last bucket. Mitchell! My goodness. Here's Conley, the leader, and he gets it to
player, but loves to finish with his right hand on those floaters.
Conley following up his 26-point performance, and look at Murray fight. The Nuggets and the Jazz coming down the stretch here in Game 5. Grant steps into a 3, and he hits. Fight. The Nuggets and the Jazz coming down the stretch here in Game 5. Grant steps into a 3, and he hits.
And that's a good decision. The way Murray's going, you've got to make someone else beat you. You'd much rather give the shot to Jeremy Grant.
First 3 of the night for Grant, a 39% three-point shooter on the season. Shot clock down to 6. Conley splits 2, and he's headed to the line. Here he comes again down the paint. Dropping a dive, and Grant blocked by Gobert. 2 to shoot, Murray shoots, and he buries it. Matter pacing in front of that Utah bench. 2-point Denver lead. Trying to live to see another day. Murray. Jokic. Pass broken up by Conley. Murray. Off another broken play. Grant, Jokic, and Donovan. And Murray says, let's slow things down. And what a matchup here between these two superstars. Murray, a step back, long 2. A 7-point lead. You see the Nuggets run 12-3. And Murray's coming for more. 50 in Game 4, 40 tonight. Murray again.
Level of aggression, this defensive disposition into Game 6 on Thursday.
Murray, 18.5 point per game average during the regular season. You've seen the elevation in his game each of his first 3+ years. Is he taking that next step in these playoffs? Porter, the three-pointer won't go. Rebound, Gobert. Under a minute left. And Utah down 8. Mitchell around the horn. Ingles left open. Well short. Rebound. And Mitchell the steal. Inside Gobert.
Your turnover when all he needed to do was secure the ball. Possession is what counts.
Still only 23 years of age. 7th overall pick of the Nuggets back in the 16 draft. Has played all of 19 career postseason games. And everyone waiting with bated breath to see where he goes here. Murray, the drive, the kick. Jokic. Splash! I missed that opening tip. And we will be watching. Brian Anderson, Chris Webber, Jared Greenberg will have the call coming up next on TNT. Final 20 seconds. Here's a 3 by Mitchell, and he bakes it in. Why not? Unbelievable. Another 50-point game in game number 4. Here's Grant up the floor to Dozier.
Some opportunities in transition. And then, of course, Jamal Murray. You know, we've seen it across other series also, but sort of a straight back and forth head-to-head for the fans that they get another game or two of this.
Well, you're looking at the future of the NBA. Two of the bright young stars as Grant is fouled, and assuming that Denver can hold on here for the
defense tonight in the second half. And they've got to hang on to that and understand.
Final 10 seconds after the free throws by Grant. Not that time by Mitchell, and that will do it. The Denver Nuggets will extend their season to a Game 6. They do.